All right. Okay, so good morning. Today we're going to talk about front and center. This is my new mantra, front and center. And what's going to be front and center? The business opportunity. So the question is, why are we doing that? And how do we do that? So, why are we doing this? I've done so much thinking and talking with a lot of people lately about growing fast. How do we grow fast? What is it that makes us grow fast? Um, and we keep thinking, well, I keep doing parties and I keep putting the pretty pictures out there of all of our jewelry, and it's so beautiful and everybody loves it. And people are just not joining my team. And I want to say, I believe it's because we're focusing on selling jewelry and we're not focusing on the business opportunity and what's possible. I think we've just gotten so used to the fact that it's a great business. We make a lot of money. We get a lot of jewelry. We have so many benefits. We love the Sparkle Sisterhood. Now we have an incentive trip. We assume that people know what we know. And the reality is they don't know anything. All they know is what we show them. We have to keep that in mind. People only know what we show them. They're not going to know just by osmosis. So this is why I have this concept of front and center. We have to keep the business opportunity and all the fun involved in it front and center in every aspect. So that means at our parties. So we're going to talk about how we're going to keep it front and center at our parties. How are we going to keep it front and center in our customer care and our communications with people? And how are we going to keep it front and center on social media? Okay, so those are three key areas. So I'm just going to talk randomly off the top of my head of some of the things that I'm seeing and some of the things that I'm going to try to incorporate. And then I want to do some brainstorming together today, because the reality is we can be so thrilled about all of this, but unless it comes out of our mouths and we start making our own personal plan, nothing's going to change. But when we do change how we present all of this and how much we present all of this, I promise you it is going to change. You're going to up your chances of finding some amazing women to join your teams. So that's what's really exciting about this. The thing I want you to think about is that this trip, any trip, but especially this first one, is an opportunity to grow your team and to build leaders on your team. So why do I say that? Well, the first one is obvious, grow your team, because women are just going to want to join because they're going to see the fun and the excitement of the incentive trip. But this concept of building leaders on your team, even if you're not even a leader yet yourself, building leaders on your team happens because of the trip. When someone is working on earning the trip, what happens by default? Because of her sponsoring activity, she's going to go to leader. She's going to become a group leader at least, just because of earning the trip. And so you could be bringing team members on today who want to go with you and with all of us to Punta Cana. And in earning that trip, they're going to become a leader as well. Let's say you have two new team members who want to go to Punta Cana and they both go to leader. You suddenly will become a director by the time you go on this trip. So you have to keep in mind that this trip is a tool for helping you stabilize your team, grow your income, and build leaders within your own organization. Okay. Whether you're a leader today or not is irrelevant. That's what this trip is for, starting today. So this is why we're going to keep all this front and center. So let's talk about social media. So a couple of things that I've started doing in social media, and I am not at all the expert. In fact, I am anti social media. I don't love it. I don't like fiddling with it. But a couple of key things that I've started doing that I'm going to just keep doing. One has to do with my Facebook and Instagram are connected. Don't ask me how I did it. I know it's not hard. It's probably like you click a button somewhere. I couldn't tell you where it is. But I post pictures on my story in Facebook, and it automatically goes over to my Instagram. I think you can do it in reverse also. Never tried it. And so what I'm doing is a little bit of a system. I'm posting something about that's cute and fun about my life, usually my dogs, and it might have a funny little picture on it, that kind of thing. And then I will post something about the business opportunity. And I'll make sure that it's interactive, and maybe it has not interactive, but it has a cute little picture on it. I mean, like a cute little something flashing to get their attention. Make sure it says Touchstone Crystal. If the picture doesn't happen to say Touchstone Crystal, it might even have words like, "Are you coming with us?" You know, something like that. And so, and it can be a number of different things. I'm going to post some more pictures of things that it could be. It could be old trip pictures. So I have a lot of old trip pics that I'll start posting that don't necessarily just include me, but nobody has to know that you were not in that picture. And it doesn't even matter that you weren't on that trip. It's showing them what a trip looks like. What are the kinds of things that happen on a trip, right? And so I'm going to post a bunch of pictures like that you can grab. I'm also going to be sharing with you something that I posted this morning. I have 4 or 5, maybe 6 pictures that I created a while ago that are basically the responses I got from team members 3 years ago about what they love about Touchstone Crystal. And I created pictures of all these different responses, and they're really sweet. And so I posted one this morning about what women said about Touchstone Crystal. And I thought, you know, that's the kind of thing that women would like to see, right? And then it's always the Punta Cana picture and also the starter kit picture, right? Because that draws people in too. So when you start mixing up these things, and of course the $65 ice bracelet, you want to throw those in there as well. But we're trying to paint a picture of fun and excitement as well as personal, like cute things that my dog is doing, right? Because that's important too, showing me as a human being. So those are the things. I'm trying to keep 3 things going every day within my story so that there's always something up there. They're always saying something. I'm also trying to post some fun things in my VIP bling page. I don't call it VIP. It's just called Betsy's Bling and Blessings, but everybody calls it something different. I'm trying to be much more proactive. Like I posted what Amanda said on the team page the other day about her party. I put that in my bling page because I want people to see what it's like for a fairly new consultant to be having such a great experience. I'm trying to create impressions for the people who are watching my business. That's not to say that's all I'm posting, because I'm also posting, like I'm doing a trivia night tomorrow night for them as a special fun event, a shopping event. And of course, I'm always posting about the sales and the specials in there. But again, I'm trying to keep the business opportunity front and center. I never talked about it before. Isn't that crazy? I was so product focused. I was all about selling jewelry. And so now I'm like, hey, wait, what's supposed to be front and center? Doesn't mean it's the only thing, but front and center is going to be the business opportunity, because when she's ready, I want to be able to scoop her up. Okay, so that's social media. And I know you're going to have some ideas for me in a minute. The second thing is customer care. So this is a little harder for me to remember, and I'm not very good at this, but when I'm reaching out and talking to customers about anything, obviously, you know, it's to say thank you, it's to try to book a party, but I got to figure out a way to send them a trip pick and the starter kit pick. So now I'm basically making sure that everybody that I connect with one way or another sees that we have a Punta Cana trip coming up and that we have a $79 starter kit that looks like this, so that I can scoop her up if she's curious. People are like, well, I don't want to be pushy, but my perspective is, if she doesn't even know what's possible, how am I ever going to encourage her to take a look at this, right? There's no way she's ever going to know unless I show her. And the more people I show, the more likely it is I'm going to find people who are ready and interested. Again, front and center. And then the last component is the parties. So what am I going to change up in my Zoom parties and in my in-person parties to make this front and center, to make the business opportunity, the kit, and also the trip front and center? So one of the things that we were talking about the other day is taking my bikini top with me. Not that I'm always going to wear my bikini top, but I might, but not at the party. So I'm going to take it with me and I'm going to show it. And it's a reminder to me that I'm working on a trip to Punta Cana. I want that trip to be front and center. I want that starter kit to be front and center. I want every single girl to walk out of there from that party or away from that Zoom going, she's working toward a trip to Punta Cana, And this is what the starter kit looks like. I want them to have that knowledge because they're not going to get it by osmosis. It's got to be front and center. It's got to be the thing that I am most excited about, right? And that's going to show up in my words and the way I explain things, the things that I talk about first. A while back, the company wanted us to start creating this power statement. I don't know that that changes anything for people, but that does set an intention in our brains. And if I start off a party saying, I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight because we have so much fun stuff going on at Touchstone Crystal. First and foremost, we just introduced a brand new incentive trip, first one in 3 years. We're going to Punta Cana. And so I bring my bikini top with me to every party to remind myself that this is one of the things I'm working toward, and to let people know that anybody can come with me on this trip. So if you're looking for free trips, be sure to watch what I do tonight, because this could be a really fun way for you to come with me next March to Punta Cana. And then I'm going to have copies of the starter kit that I can give away. That's going to be in a stand, picture about the trip in a stand also, because I don't want them to miss it with everything else that's going on. I have to be a little bit of a broken record so that they know front and center, this is what's happening. So those are some of the things that I've been focusing on and thinking about, like, how do I keep it front and center? So what does that make you all think about? What can you add to that? What are you going to be doing differently now that you're thinking like this?
Two parties.
I'd say I'm going to take advantage of like what you're saying. I started posting things on my story, but adding the personal things on there too. And then, throwing in the, again, like you said, front and center starter kit. And I like the idea of how, I don't have a bikini. I'll take my tankini top, but so that's a great idea as far as like putting that front and center and letting them know. And then, in the very beginning, which is a nice introduction to what you're doing, which I think would be great. And, bringing all that stuff with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here's and it's funny, Jody, thank you for that. One of the things that makes me think about is what we're trying to do in putting it front and center is to watch to see who's paying attention, who's reacting to this whole thing. Because sometimes they will come out of the woodwork because they're seeing this, but sometimes we have to watch for the more subtle clues. At the party, who starts asking questions about the trip? Who starts talking about trips that they've taken, right? Those are clues for us to talk to those girls about it. But also when we're posting things on social media, when you get a like or a love to one of your posts, you got to follow up with her. It's all about that follow-up. So it becomes intel. It's like we're tossing out some bait. We're seeing who actually bites. And then that's an opportunity to follow up and say, thanks for clicking like on my trip pic. I'm so excited. I can't believe we get to do this finally. Do you want to hear more about it? And then find out if that's something that she's curious about. Maybe she's just being supportive, but you never know. And it's all about the paying attention and the following up. Jody, did you have another thought about that? I interrupted you.
Oh, no. Like I said, it's, I like that idea, and I would have never, as simple as that is, I wouldn't have thought of that,
Got it.
And I like the front and center, and my head's thinking, because I have a big party first week in July, and
yes, right.
I have a crew that they're all my followers from Lancaster, New York, but I'm trying, I should say, I haven't tried hard enough to really get some sponsors out in that area.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring that with me and like hang it up and do that. I like that idea a lot because they love the beach. A lot of these, a lot of them do that. So I do like that idea. Thank you for that.
I mean, think how fun it would be if you went into that party casting vision for them. Ladies, look at all of you. How many of you are going to come with me? How many beach chairs do I need for this group alone?
Yeah.
And they all get along with Carl. They're all friends with Carl. So, when he's there.
Exactly. Right. Right. And so think about it. But so we have to cast vision for people. Girls, think how fun it would be
Yeah.
for all of you to join my team and we all go to Punta Cana together. Think about it. How many beach chairs are we going to even need? Somebody's going to be assigned to go down there every morning and get those beach chairs. Who's it going to be? Right. And draw them into this idea that they can do this with you.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we need to take that really proactive, excited, happy approach to, and casting vision for women of what's possible. We're back to dreaming again, right? We're back to having fun. We're back to being able to dream again. Dream about going on this trip with some brand new team members, right? And then we work. It's dream and work, right? But we finally get to dream, and then we get to work to make the dream happen. So I'm excited for your big party, Jody. I know you told me about that one before.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, right. It's a start. And the key is watching to see whose eyebrows go up, right? Who can you
Mhm.
talk to about it off to the side too?
Right.
And they might not say yes right in front of all the people, but they might after the fact. And I think it's a lot of them are going to get scooped up after the fact too.
Right.
They were thinking about it. Not everybody wants to do it right away, right in the first 5 minutes. It might be the next day they're thinking, yeah, I really want to do that with Jody. Why wouldn't you want to do that with Jody?
This is right.
Who else? Tangible ideas, something that makes you think of Amanda.
I have just a question. So, whenever you're like talking about the business opportunity at an in-person party,
Uh-huh.
do you do it in the very beginning or at the very end? Because I did it like I've only
Right.
done two now, you know that, but I did it at the end because I thought that that would be like a good way to like
Oh.
end it. But I feel like as you're almost done, I feel like they're not paying attention as much as whenever you first start. Does that
Uh-huh.
make, I don't know. What do you think?
I think you do it. I think it's a yes. I think it's yes in the beginning and yes in the middle and yes at the end. I really do love doing the 5 questions, the Q&A,
Mhm.
because the way I do my in-person parties is I give tickets for trying on jewelry
Yep.
when they first arrive, and then I reserve out 5 tickets at the end from my presentation, and I say, okay, we're almost ready to do the drawing. I'm going to give you 5 more chances to earn a ticket. I've got 90 seconds. I'm going to bribe you to ask me a question about what I do, about my business, about the incentive trips. It can be about my business. How much money do I make? You can ask me how much does it cost to get started. And okay, we have 90 seconds. I got 5 more tickets. Who's got the first question? And then this is how I'm keeping them, engaged, right? And then I do the drawing at the end. But by now I've got them asking questions on purpose. And again, that's intel. I'm watching to see who asked the questions so that I can follow up with them afterwards. Right. But I don't think it's a pigeonholed thing. I think it's, oh, and by the way, this necklace is in the starter kit. Oh, and these earrings are in the starter kit too. And yeah, I mean, all of this is mine. I got it because I joined, and everything is free or 70% off. So, and here's what the starter kit looks like. And I mean, so I try to turn everything back around to either the business opportunity or I turn it back around to booking a party. Does that make sense? So it's not just pigeonholed here, here, and here. And especially around the table, if they're all over, if somebody's just like in the mix, can't get her hands off of it, I'm tossing ideas in there and I'm saying things like, you should just come and do this with me. Why don't you just think about that? And then, and I'll change the subject, right? I'm not going to like laser beam her and make her uncomfortable because she needs to save face, right? So, but it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing, one place or the other place. Who else? Any other last ideas?
I think I have something, a statement.
Good.
I think it's important to when you're doing your opening at your party that you do mention about what you're doing and not necessarily your why, but you don't have a crystal ball. You don't know who might need a little side gig or who might need that extra money.
Right.
And you want them to watch what you're doing and, you know, so that they can see how easy it really is.
Right.
I mean, that's what I do. I always start off that way. I don't want to wait to the very end or in the middle. And I do the same thing you do, Betsy, with the tickets. But
Yeah.
I want them to know. I want them to watch what I do. If it's something you have an interest in, and you can see how easy it is for that side gig, see what, you know, whatever you need. That's what's going to generate them to ask you questions,
Yeah.
not to just do your presentation and then all of a sudden approach it that way. They're going to sit there going like, I don't know what to ask, you know? So
I agree.
that's what I do.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's more holistic, but I do think that it's fair to start talking about how excited you are about the trip as why you're here. You know, I just so love what I do. I'm so excited to be here with all you ladies. And I'm especially excited because now we're working on an incentive trip to Punta Cana, and I'm holding up my little, you know, right? That kicks off the fun of the party, you know, and gets them thinking. That messaging of fun is everything. It's all about fun. If this isn't fun, they're not going to do it, right? If it is extra fun, they're going to think harder about doing it. So we want to make sure, and like Debbie said, the simplicity of it. Watch what I do. This is all I do. This is how simple this is. Duplicatable. Yes. I love that. Yeah. Okay. Who else? Other ideas? Things that will work? Things you're willing to try differently? Would you want to start today? Okay. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a really fun day. I'm so excited about this trip, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Because it's a tool for helping all of you build your teams. And that's what I'm most excited about, because you're going to find some amazing women this summer to join your team, and they're going to want to come with you on this trip. So dream big, and that's going to make all the difference. All right. Love you, girls. I'll talk to you
Love
soon.
you too.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.